financial year. Can I have a second, please?
I can second that, Rita.
Perfect. Any objections? There being no objections, the motion is passed unanimously. And then, as I previously alluded to, I'm handing the reins over to Maimoune Salim. Thank you, May. Thank you so much for being the capable hands into which I can hand over PeacePlayers. It's such a dear organization to me and has been in my life for such a long time, and I have enjoyed my time thoroughly. And I know that you will do an amazing job. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting a little bit emotional. It's very bittersweet to be leaving. So I'd like to announce the change of the PeacePlayers Board Chair to Dr. May Salim, and thank her again for her willingness to do so. And now I'll pass the mic back to Nasipi.
Everyone, can everyone still hear me and see me?
Yes, we can. Thanks, May.
Okay, brilliant. Seems like we are all experiencing technical difficulties this evening, but we are hanging on. So now we are going to open for our Q&A. I've seen a few questions come in through our chat. Thank you so much for sharing questions through Facebook, and also thanks for everyone who's here with us this evening. I'll start maybe by taking questions from the Zoom meeting before moving on to the questions from the other platforms. So anyone with a burning question? Or a comment? All right, while everyone is taking a moment to think, feel free to also drop a question on the chat. I'll be going through the chat and pass to some of our teammates to answer some of the questions. So starting with one from Facebook. From last financial year, as a previous ongoing challenge of balancing your demographics, has there been any recent successes? I'd like to pass this to Noluthando.
Thank you, Nas. I think with every element, there's always challenges, but I think we're working towards creating a strategy that does diversify our program. I think the leadership development has started doing that, and we want to trickle it down to our core programming. I think that's a strategy still in progress, as I have been appointed programs manager just recently. So we're looking at how we plan to diversify and enhance what we already have. So, yeah.
Thank you, Thando. Okay, I'll move on to the second question. How are we tracking the development of participants that have been through our program, and after they've been part of our program after they've been part of your program has truly made a positive change in your life, in their lives? So I guess the question is, how are we tracking the progress of our participants during our program and also after they've been in our program? I'd like to pass this to Alison.
Thanks, Naz. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Cool. Hello again, everyone. So tracking. I guess there's several modalities. There's an organic level of tracking, Obviously, because as I said during my address, we work with participants year on year. There's oftentimes it's the same participants moving through the program as they develop. So there's an anecdotal and experiential following of them as they gain skills, as we see impact in their lives. It's very much a qualitative and direct mentoring process of understanding the impact in individuals as they move through the programming. And then of course there are lots of case study stories which we often share on our socials, etc., linked to that. Then we also we've done several things in the last couple of years that are becoming more formalized, if you like, in terms of a quantitative assessment. One is our skills audits, which we're very excited about and which we're going to try and strengthen this year. Really just assessing what life skills participants are picking up, as well as basketball skills through the course of the year, and also how that reflects on the coaches and their development and their ability to coach. And we've also started implementing more formalized impact surveys. We've spent 2 years really refining those, and we will deploy a survey in February, which we hope will be really yield some good information, because we've learned from the last 2 rounds of surveying, and that looks at our outcome indicators in terms of the behavioral change we want to see in different areas of participants' lives, and how it correlates to their time on the programming. Just quickly on alumni, it's interesting that that's come up, because this is something we really are burning to do more of. There's a lot of internal conversation around tracking alumni, and we know that a lot of our alumni have gone on to do amazing things. Some of them we stay close to, some of them we sadly lost track of. So we want to get better at staying in touch with alumni, learning from them, and also even looking at opportunities for them to yield their learning back into PeacePlayers and towards our participants. So watch the space. This is something that other organizations we're talking to are also doing better. So we're hoping to put systems in place to do that fairly soon.
Thank you, Alison. I hope that answers the question. Right, I'll move on to another question. Under Area Coordinator Sanele Zondi, I came across information indicating that certain communities are experiencing significant poverty. As PeacePlayers, to what extent do you engage with these issues? Would the PeacePlayers consider helping families by teaching them food growing skills to make ends meet? I will pass this to Rita, since this is her last meeting as board chair, and then I'll support you, Rita, at the end of with the last part of the question.
You're putting me on the spot now. I think that from PeacePlayers' perspective, we teach leadership skills. We teach, we are a development organization rather than a sports organization. And our goal is to empower youth so that they can actually empower themselves and empower communities. So I would say helping them by reaching food growing skills is something that our area coordinators can look at suggesting to the kids to do themselves. One of the basketball courts that was revamped was actually out of the movement of one of the participants. And we had another case where one of the LDP participants organized a stationary drive for one of our participating schools. So I think we focus on empowerment rather than trying to be all things to all people, because unfortunately one organization can't take care of it all. But I think that would be a really nice idea to plant the seed, excuse the pun, between our participants to see whether they could, with our assistance of course, organize such a food growing skills development program where we could assist them perhaps in getting access and connecting them to specific people who could assist them with these kind of incentives. Naz, do you have anything else to add there?
Yes, thank you, Rita. Yes, I would like to add also that previously we've partnered with different organizations, Laureate Sport for Good Foundation. I believe Mr. Gresham is here. And also another organization from Cape Town that has supported our youth and their families with food vouchers from a store where they can buy essentials that they need. Obviously, these they give us these vouchers when they have them. They're not consistently every month. Also, because we don't want families to be fully dependent. So the food garden option, some of our schools have them, but not all of our schools. So that is a good opportunity that you're mentioning to us, Mbongeni. And we had a conversation last July with Miss Earth, who currently has a project where she's looking into starting food gardens, and we're looking to how we can partner with another organization who has expertise in this area, who can help us to do this sustainably within our schools. But additionally, our vision as Peace Players, we're hoping that we're having conversations. We hope this vision and dream could come through soon, where we can have our own hub that will enable us to sustain our programs that is going to be built within our communities. And this hub will not only support the current programs that we have, but also we are looking at bridging that gap with our alumni, where some of them want to be entrepreneurs or start small businesses, but maybe they don't have space. So how do we start also tapping into the enterprise space to ensure that we're creating a way, sustainability and support for our youth, even beyond Peace Players, because it's not all of them that are able to start their own organizations or afford to go to university or get employment. Hence, we are hiring about 95% of our coaches right now are our program alumni, and we've had some great successes with people who've gone on to work for other organizations, other schools, and so forth. But we do understand that we can do better to strengthen that, to make sure that they always have something that they can fall on, but also they can create their own substantial lives outside, whether Peace Players is there to support or on their own. Lastly, we also launched in the previous years through our Peace Players Global Leadership Academy. And I'm sure if you were in our AGM last year, but that report is still on our website, you'll see stories of young people from Peace Players South Africa, Peace Players Northern Ireland, US, and the Middle East who were beneficiaries of that program. And we're supporting youth with paying their tuition fee to go to college or contributing towards that. Some of them, they needed driver's license or any other basic needs they needed post Peace Players to just start up their lives. And unfortunately, funding comes and goes. We're not always able to provide that support, and we are constantly looking for ways that we can do that in a substantial way, but also in a sustainable way that will ensure even if Peace Players South Africa is not here anymore, those young people will still be able to prosper with the skills that we have given them. So I hope, Mbongeni, I cleared that questions. Let me go back to the chat. Okay, another question is how are we dealing with the sport codes, taking some of the existing participants as per your M&E to partake in other school activities? All right, I think hopefully I'm correct with this question, Sanele, but it's how are we dealing with maybe competing sport codes? Some participants are playing netball or soccer, and then with them also participating in other schools. How do we track our M&E? Would anyone like to take that, or I can take it?
Yeah, I can jump in, Ness. You can hear me, right?
Thanks, Suban.
Yeah. So usually we send a calendar to the school with our activities, and then the coach have a sit down with the school in terms of discussing the training days to make sure that we don't clash with other sports. Then we select the kids, make sure that the kids they know that this is our days for basketball, talking to other coaches as well, making sure that we don't clash in terms of training days and game days, to make sure that we maximize the capacity of the participants. I hope I answered the question.
Yes, Sobani, and I can add on around M&E when they partake in other activities that are happening outside of PeacePlayers. So you would have seen we were showing events. I'm sure you saw the Pietermaritzburg Girls Tournament that Tando mentioned, and also the Kersney Tournament or a Northwood Tournament that took place on this year. So these tournaments, usually our participants through PeacePlayers, we attend these tournaments with schools that we almost have relationships or informal partnerships with, because of shared values that we have and relationships that we've built over the years. When they attend these tournaments, we only consider from M&E standpoint, we only take M&E for the PeacePlayers participants at the moment, and not necessarily the ripple effects like them participating with other kids that are not in our program. At the moment, we're not tracking that. We are just tracking from attendance point of view from our participants, and also stories and successes that come from those experiences, whether they get selected for a provincial team, a national team, and any other story that we can capture through that. And that is also similar with I shared a campaign earlier that we are running in partnership with Northwood School, Thirsty, and Sport for Lives. That campaign supports our young people who've been selected who are participants in our program. Fortunately, some of them have received scholarships to go to schools like Northwood. We've been in conversation with other schools, even university, on how we can create that transition platform for them and opportunities to access quality education beyond PeacePlayers. And we've had some success stories where these participants are able to get into these schools. But through that campaign that we're running now, you'll see that once they get into these schools, they still require additional support. Some of them don't have a uniform or stationery or transportation, because some of the participants are coming as far as Umlazi and they need to travel to Durban North. So we are constantly looking of additional ways we can support them. But in terms of M&E, we look at their stories from when they're participants at PeacePlayers and try to track as much as we can those that we are in touch with when they move on to other areas. That was a great question. Okay. All right, Farai, that's my favorite question of the AGM. Alison or any of the board members, would you like to take the question around that we've been around for over 20 years, approaching 25 years now as an organization? What are our plans to grow outside of the province of KZN? As most people would know that our core work is done in KZN. Great question for
I'll kick it off, Naz, and you can chip in, and anyone from the board or on the team can as well. Thanks for that question, Farai. It's ever and always close to our hearts to do, and we are ready, and just to diversify and work with new communities and new settings. At the very center of our work is the imperative of ensuring that the work that we do is sustainable. So we've, as you've heard from me and from Nish and from Tando, we've been working with the same communities for many years. And there's a number of reasons for that. First, as you already know, we work with kids throughout their school career, as it were. So it's a sustained year-on-year relationship that we develop with them. And similarly, that we develop with the leaders in the communities, with other local organizations and communities. We're also very labor-intensive in the work that we do. The work that PeacePlayers does requires close mentorship. It requires keeping close to the heartbeat of the challenges in the communities we work in. So we need to be agile and adaptable, and that really requires staff who are in a team who's on the ground and hands-on. It's not something that we can do remotely, and that requires ensuring that we have the staff available to sustainably move into a new area. And for that, as you can well imagine, of course, we need the financial backing. We do and have in the past worked in other provinces from a technical support perspective. So, and again, that's a fine line in ensuring that whoever is offering that technical support to another organisation in the life skills programming that we offer, and to help them build their own, we have to ensure that our staff are primarily able to deliver on our promises to donors and the communities that we're already working. So always a sort of a resource balancing act. There is actually quite a lot of interest with our global partners, with PeacePlayers International, in various collaborative opportunities in other African countries. So watch this space. That's something that we'd really love to do more of as well. Naz, you're welcome to add to that.
I think that's a great response, Alison. So at the moment, I think I can just add that we are really focused on depth and trying to make sure that if we do expand, as you know, in this space, it's very hard to find guaranteed funding for a few years. We've done this before, as you know, in the 20 plus years of PeacePlayers, where we have grown too quickly and we had to shrink our programming because we couldn't afford. And maybe, as you know, some of our coaches are actually on contract with us for a year long. So when we're working in the communities, we want to make sure that we're working with people from that community because they understand that community beyond us, but also they sort of a guarantee to create sustainable programs to make sure that we're not just coming in to do once-off events and then go away and leave the community unattended. And the best way really is to do it through partnering with already existing organizations that maybe don't have the expertise or the methodology from PeacePlayers. And obviously that requires money. That's really our big reason. But also we do find ways to work where we can with other organizations. All right, I think I'll take the last two questions, but if there's more questions, please keep them coming. If we are not able to attend to all of them during this meeting, we'll go back, especially the ones that are coming from YouTube, and respond directly on YouTube. And we'll see if there's ways we can respond to everybody else if there's additional questions. So the last two questions is looking at the future. Will there be any other major basketball events that encourage and empower women in sport apart from those you already have? Nolutando. Oh, do we still have Tando? Okay, I can take this question. So at the moment, but we've done 6 annual tournaments now with the Girls Basketball Festival, which gives us an opportunity to invite even schools that are not part of PeacePlayers core program, who are able to invite them in this tournament. And then until last year, we tried to expand that by adding, because that's a high school tournament, so we tried by opening it to our primary school teams to make PeacePlayers All-Star Primary School team. So currently in KZN, I think most parts of South Africa, there's actually a big gap around primary school tournaments. Especially for girls. There are some for primary school boys, but not for girls. So that's something we've talked about as a thing that we would like to do in the future to engage more girls in basketball tournaments. But I'd also like to add that tournament is more of a plus for us. It's not the core of our business. What matters most to us is that sustained work that we do on a weekly basis with youth and through our cross-community Peace League. The tournaments are quite expensive to put together. And I would like to add that also in our PeacePlayers tournaments, we don't ask these schools to contribute, like to pay. We do them, we fund through our partners and other stakeholders. We fund these very expensive tournaments on our own. I'm aware that some schools, when they do tournaments, schools are requested to pay up to 10,000 or even more than that to be able to participate. So we try to make these as inclusive, as diverse as possible, and to include communities and schools that wouldn't necessarily get access to these tournaments, while we are also trying to bridge that gap between the kids or school or participants that are coming from other schools outside of PeacePlayers. So this is something that can improve. I'm hoping that question is coming from someone who is signing a checkbook right now to add an additional tournament for primary school and for girls especially. Beyond just us having a 50% participation rate across our programs of girls. Okay, I'll take the last question. This is from YouTube Live. Do we collaborate with other organizations to amplify the impact of our reach? I think Alison already answered this through technical assistant, but I don't know if there's anything else that you'd like to add, Alison?
Thanks, Naz. Yes, so just, of course, our primary partners are, in fact, our schools, probably, certainly in community partners. And the team will attest to the fact that we have to work very, very hard to ensure that we have a good partnership with the schools we work with. They are the ground, so to speak, from which our core program participants are drawn. And often enough, the funding occasionally doesn't happen as often as we'd like. A school will, for example, Bazamilia Primary in Mweni received National Lotteries funding. I think it is in the annual report. That enabled them to rebuild the basketball court, which really enhances our programming activities in that community. So those school partnerships and also CBO partnerships are critical. Also in Mweni, in the annual report, we partnered with Umvimba Lua Africa for career guidance support. So those are kind of adjunct activities that our participants are exposed to through our relationships with other organizations, who then draw on our participants to offer them additional opportunities. Career guidance is another example from Katseta. A lot of opportunities that came up in the last annual report. Some of you may remember that Nelson Mandela Children's Fund partnered with us to identify a small group of our participants to participate in the round the world yachting opportunity, a once in a lifetime opportunity. So those sorts of partnerships, and there are many more examples, kind of amplify what we're doing beyond just basketball. And then, of course, there are the MBAs and the KZN Sports and Recreation, the more basketball specific opportunities that arise because of our partnerships as well.
Great. Thank you, Alison. If there is no additional questions, maybe from the call, anyone would like to ask a question? Because we're running out of time, or can I go ahead and close this section? Going once. Twice. All right, close. And then please continue to add questions on the chat or from the live stream, and we'll attend to those later. I'd like to pass the mic to our board member, Clive, for close.
Thank you, Nas. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Clive Tinane, member of the board. So I'd like to begin by expressing my sincere gratitude to everyone present across different platforms. This event really also serves as a celebration of the remarkable accomplishments that the organization has been able to achieve. And I think, as reported by colleagues, the organization remains steadfast in its commitment to making a positive impact and catalyzing meaningful change in different communities. I would like to thank our auditors who are behind helping and making sure that we are aligned in terms of our annual financial statements. I think, for us to be able to report in such a manner professionally and coherently, it's because of their support in this matter. So we'd like to just thank them for that. I would like to thank the communities and the schools. Without the communities where we run our programs and the schools that are supporting us, we would not be able to achieve all the program successes that we are reporting today. So we would like to just extend our gratitude and to say, look, if we can continue to partner in making difference in different communities, that will be greatly appreciated. It is also crucial to acknowledge the significance of our partners and sponsors in success of our programs. And would like to express our deepest appreciation to the following partners, among many: Laureate Sports for Good, PeacePlayers Global, Soul Foundation, Victor Dates Foundation, and AT&T. Obviously, because of time limitations, we are unable to mention everybody. However, you have access, I believe, to the report, and in the report there is a detailed list of everybody that has contributed to PeacePlayers South Africa. I would also like to highlight that at the helm of our strategy, partnerships, and operations, we have an exceptional leadership team who are consistently delivering outstanding work. Their unwavering commitment, resilience, and dedication are truly inspiring, and we are truly blessed to have them as they continue to carry the organization on their shoulders. Lastly, the program teams who make a tangible difference in various communities, your unwavering commitment, often under challenging circumstances, continue to shine. The meticulous execution, community engagement, working with the youth, and doing that doing it while you are humble and showing excellence really does stand out, and it is noted. Each of you is valued, and PeacePlayers South Africa would like to extend our gratitude and thank you for all the hard work that you've shown in the past year. Before I hand over the mic, I also want to thank Rita for the leadership that you've provided to the board. You are indeed going to be greatly missed, and we hope that whatever that you do in your future endeavors, you will be successful, and we wish you all the best. And we would like to also welcome Maimuna, who is also going to be our chairman moving forward, and we're looking forward to having you as the chairman of the board. We eagerly anticipate another year of success and a journey focused on using leadership development and basketball to build communities of the future. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you. Over to Rita.
Thank you so much, Clive. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the board, and thank you so much for your heartfelt message. It's received with grace, with gratitude, sorry. Before I close the meeting, I asked May whether I can put her on the spot to just introduce herself. Her connection is, however, not very good, so she's going to try without her camera on. May, please introduce yourself as our new board chairperson.
Okay, I'll try and put my camera on, and I'm sure we'll try and get something. So, let's see. Okay, good evening, everybody. It's so nice to see everybody. I want to say, number one, a great congratulations to PeacePlayers South Africa, the phenomenal team that has worked so hard, and the unwavering support that you give each other for working so hard to attain your goals and to working towards the strategic goals of PeacePlayers and achieving them. So congratulations to Alison and Nasipi. You guys are doing phenomenal. And then Rita, I say this with a lot of pain in my heart. We've come a long way. It's been years of dedication that you've put into the organization, commitment, hard work. I mean, PeacePlayers is where it is because of your phenomenal contribution, and you added so much of value, and we're really going to miss you. But it's not goodbye. We will definitely see you again. And I just want to say you have very big shoes to fill, so I hope I could do it to justice. So I am Maimuna Salim. I've been in the development space for about over 15, 20 years. I work with NGOs, and I also work with CSOs and CBOs and in the international and global space. I'm based in Nigeria at the moment, but I'm South African, and I'm just looking forward to working with everybody. And again, I hope I do justice to those big shoes and add more value. And also, I will call Rita time and time again to get some info from you. But thank you, everybody, and thank you and congratulations. Good night.
Thank you so much, May, and I am sure you will stand my shoes full and spill over them. All right. Is there any further questions, Nas, that need answering? We've got about 4 minutes left.
No new questions on my end. Sanele, on the other platforms, did you guys receive anything else?
Not on my side.
All good on YouTube.
Wonderful. Then we've kept very good time. And for the last time, I now declare this AGM closed. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you.
Hey guys, it's Samantha from Centennial Secondary. We're here at Northwood celebrating women. We're breaking barriers and building a future for the young girls. I'm Jolie Kaniki, and here we are at Northwood High School for the Girls Festival.
Hi, my name is Coach Fezile. We're here at the 6th Annual Girls Festival, which is only girls that are playing today.
Veins can't relax, original. I am not the same as these cats. I sting them if they never ever mind in their beeswax. I don't never cap, but I'm wearing like 3 hats. Never been a rat, but I know where the cheese at. You'll never get a trophy cause they all here where we at. You better believe that. When it's all said and done, I'll still be here standing. Never took a loss and it ain't something that I'm planning. I dare you to say something. My focus is A1. Every dog has its day, it's been mine since day one. This is real grinding, I'm still climbing. While you still trying, I'm still shining. It's real blinding, and I'm getting hotter too. Talking top 2, I'm not a 2. You let the pressure bother you when I do what I gotta do. Let's go hard.
I think you can stop the recording now.
I just gotta go hard. Go hard.
Recording stopped.
They ain't coming close to me. Flow is on atomic, I'm starting fires through poetry. The hardest out, stay loyal, no falling out. And if you step into the court, be ready, we balling out. Yeah, the coldest of teens, they know what we bring, don't try us. They know in between, we go for these dreams in silence. Hard work, don't mistake it for magic. We been shooting in the gym, this is target and practice. Yeah. And I'm just getting started, getting feet wet. It's all a repetition, ain't a secret.
I'm all teary-eyed. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Good night, guys.
Hi, everyone.
Shonas? All right.
Good night.
Night, Kandile.
Oh, Mama.
Ended. Yes, we're done. Okay. Ending it on YouTube now. Is it recording on your side? Yeah, it's saving recording. I'm about to stop YouTube at past. Now it's past. And